Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Unpopular Opinions with me, Randy Prizzle. As you can see, I've got a tablet this time. Check me out, doing big boy things now. You know what I mean? But anyways, let's stop waffling on. Big up the tablet, big up me for buying a tablet. Big up you all for checking out this episode of Unpopular Opinions. But let's get on to this episode for this week. You should not be shamed for not supporting local businesses. I feel like it's helpful if you do support local businesses. Now, I know sometimes it can be a bit difficult to support your local businesses, especially if the produce there are not the right produce. Let's say they're probably quite expensive. They're probably not in the way where they're easier to access, in terms of where it's just a lot more easier to go and get something from a Sainsbury's or from a Lidl or from a Morrison's or from a Iceland, because it's convenient. I don't think you should be shamed for that. I think sometimes local businesses' prices are very different from prices of items that are from your local shops, from your Costco's or wherever. So it's very difficult to maintain buying stuff from local businesses. Now, it's not a bad thing if you don't buy from them. It's just one of them things. Sometimes it's very difficult to go and buy stuff that's edible or good in terms of the pricing range, because the pricing range could be out of this world. You know, local businesses' prices range could be very different from stuff that you want that's quite cheap and cheerful from your local shops. So that's probably just one of the reasons why you should not be shamed for that. Next one. I don't want to be that guy, but music in video games breaks my immersion. I don't think all music games, videos breaks an immersion. I feel that sometimes music in a video game actually helps, actually makes the feeling a lot more alive, actually makes you more be able to concentrate during games. The feeling alone probably gets you excited, gets you jumpy, gets you ready for the action. Do you know what I mean? It's like Pokemon. Without the theme tune of Pokemon, the battles would be dead. You'd be just battling, you'd just be like, no. It doesn't give you that same impact. You know what I mean? Double Dragon theme and that. You know what I mean? Or Tetris even. Do you know what I mean? Those ones are iconic. They give you those good feelings of like, you know what? This is what it is, this is what it is, and this is what I'm feeling. You know what I mean? It gets you really on that spot, really hype, really excited to take part. Do you know what I mean? So it's great. I thoroughly enjoy it. Some people, I get, they don't like it, but that in itself takes away that feeling that you're actually playing the video game. Even the starts of like the PS3, the do you know what I mean? Iconic stuff like that. It gives you that feeling of like, I'm now in the game. I'm here. It's time to play the game. Triple H settings and all that. But anyways, let's move on to the next one. The Olympics should be abolished. I mean, I don't think the Olympics should be abolished. I think the Olympics are great every year in terms of where people are able to compete and able to win medals. I feel like it's good for the people of the cities that they go and play these specific games in. Because if they go to one of these cities, right, like Rio, like Tokyo, like places that, let's say, haven't had a lot of tourism, or probably have, but not as much as probably they used to probably have. This in itself helps with the tourism. This in itself helps boost the city. This in itself puts the city more on the map. So stuff like that can really help the economy of the city. People also be going there to buy a lot of stuff, t-shirts, whatever it is, and they probably will want to visit again if they know the city's really nice. So that does help with the tourism, and it helps with all of that, not just the games perspective, but I feel it just helps the city elevate itself to a new height. So I do think the Olympics is good when it is in the right cities, but obviously, listen, it's long tournament. I think 2-3 weeks worth. So those 2-3 weeks of games are great to watch on TV. Also can inspire the youth of tomorrow to show them, hey, this is what you can accomplish and achieve. I know some places, in some cases, some athletes don't get the funding that they need. And maybe them being on a bigger scale, being shown on TV, can maybe help elevate their career to new heights as well. Get them some, people that's willing to sponsor them, where they can earn new equipment and get new things to help them in their progress on their journey. So I feel the Olympics are quite helpful in terms of the whole shebang. So yeah, next one. Whispering is more distracting than talking at a normal voice volume. I think it can be in terms of, obviously, if you are used to people being loud. I think if someone's just like, hey, let's come here and let's talk, I can see how for some people it can come across as quite grating. You know what I mean? If someone's just going, hey, come on, let's just do this together and then we'll sort it out and figure it out later. Yeah, it could be quite irritating. Now I'm doing it, but maybe it's just the sound of my own voice. But some people, it could be alright. I don't think it's distracting. I think maybe talking at your normal voice can cause a bit of issues in terms of where, but I can see someone's point in terms of where it can come across as distracting, because obviously if someone is speaking to me and constantly speaks to me in a whispering tone, I'll be like, that's too much now. That's annoying. So I think if it's constant, that's when it could come across as annoying. But that's my opinion on that. And that's it for this episode of Unpopular Opinions. I'm not gonna lie, I've had to tap the tablet a lot of times to try and get this, because obviously I need the screen thing to stay and it doesn't want to stay, and, but it's mad. We're gonna figure it out down the line. Maybe I'll just stick to the phone because I can't move the hand around a lot. My hand is feeling a bit weighty as well. But anyways, that's just problems, solving the problems later down the line. But big up yourselves, first time watchers, seasoned watchers. You know what we usually do here. I'll give my opinions and I'll react later on. Let's go.